While people move and get set up, we will have a member of the winning team from the first Philadelphia Region Future City competition in 1996 say a few words. Lieutenant Colonel Anna Gunn-Golkin graduated from the U.S. Air Force Academy in 2005 and then earned a Master's of Science degree in astronautical engineering and a second master's in flight test engineering. She is the Chief of Staff of the Air Force Rapid Capabilities Office and is on temporary assignment developing a new course on space test engineering. Throughout her career, she has continued volunteering with Future City wherever she is serving. And now, Anna Gunn-Golkin.
I got a text message like 5 minutes ago that said, hey, come over here. We're having some technical difficulties. We're going to need you to fill in some time for a minute or two while the first finalist is getting ready to go. And wow, I got to talk with all the teams this morning as I was judging a special award. You guys are so impressive. My team and I were in this competition like just about 25 years ago now, which makes me feel super old. And we would not have even come in last place. They wouldn't have even opened the door to let us come in because you guys have just taken it to the next level. You have built a city on the moon in like the harshest environment you can imagine during a global pandemic when you can't even meet with your teams. You figured out this technology. We built this giant exhibition hall on the internet for you, and it's still, it made it work. And you guys have been able to share all the good work that you're doing with the rest of the teams. So I'm just going to keep talking until other panelists show up, but I guarantee you that the finalists they just mentioned are going to be way more interesting to listen to than me. So please cut me off as soon as you're ready. It's really interesting just talking out into the void. I really appreciate what your teachers have been going through over this past year because there is no feedback. So, hi. Like Susan said, I was a member of the team that won the very first Philadelphia Future City competition. And since then, I've been roped into volunteering through my dad, who was our engineering mentor during that. Mrs. Abramowitz was our teacher, and my teammates, Scott and Danny, and I spent a whole lot of time burning our fingers with hot glue and arguing about the technical details of a futuristic city and technologies that don't even exist today and certainly didn't exist 25 years ago. And we learned so much about teamwork since then. The three of us have all gone off to STEM careers. I personally decided to join the Air Force. Soon I'll be transitioning to the Space Force, where we fly satellites like GPS, weather satellites, things like that that you use every day and don't even realize that it's seamless in life today. Some of the things that I learned most during the Future City competition was all about engineering, right? That's what got me excited to come and be an engineer for the Air Force, but just an engineer in general. So in learning engineering, kind of the premise of it is the scientific method, but it's like the scientific method with cool widgets that you get to build and play with and test. So the type of engineering that I pursued was astronautics, so spaceships and rockets, and test, which is, I guess you could kind of sum it up with trying to break things for good so that they don't break when you really need them to work. So testing rockets was my very first job, and that is so cool. So basically you build a new rocket, you predict how it's going to fly using all that science that you're learning now in middle school. You'll learn more physics and chemistry and all those things in high school. And then when you go to college, you'll learn even more if you really like rockets and making a lot of noise and launching stuff into space. So you learn how to build the rocket, you build the rocket, you predict what it's going to do. So you use your science and you figure out, okay, this rocket is going to be able to take, I don't know, 150 pounds into Earth orbit. And then you got to try it. So you launch your rocket. Sometimes they blow up. You've probably seen that every now and then. And sometimes they work really well, but you went through the engineering process. So whatever you learned from launching that rocket, you use it to fix your rocket, launch it again, and then eventually you see some really cool things. You've probably seen rockets that take off and then land back where they launched from, and then they can use them again. That is pretty cool stuff. So the engineering process, it'll follow you throughout your life. Another big thing that I heard a lot of you learned about today was teamwork. And honestly, like program and project management, that is huge, especially in a global pandemic when you can't all be sitting together around a table, just, you know, shooting the breeze, trying to figure out the best way to go forward in designing your city on the moon. You guys overcame some tremendous challenges in making this happen. And you know what? That is not unique to the Future City competition. Those lessons that you guys learned, all those struggles that you had to overcome, cooperating with your teammates, even when you couldn't be together. Welcome to the real world. You guys will be so prepared whenever you get your first job and you're just like, of course I know how to manage a team and how to cooperate with people who aren't near me, because you learned it here in the Future City competition. And, you know, all of the judges, we were just talking as we were trying to figure out who was winning which award. We are just so impressed and so proud of what you guys were able to accomplish this year. It's really cool. All right, I'm looking to see if the team is ready yet. I don't think so. Somebody give me a wave if they're ready to go. I can keep jabbering all day long, so I guess I'll do that. Okay, building stuff. That's really fun. So hopefully you guys had a good time building your model. Didn't get too many like hot glue gun burns on your fingers or paper cuts as you're putting together the model. One of the big things you guys had to do this year, a lot of the teams built little sections of the models individually with your friends or with just yourself if you had to be quarantined. And then you had to figure out how to pull it all together at the end, how to make sure that it fits together. That's a huge challenge out in the real world. So when we're building a satellite, think like a GPS satellite that creates the little, you know, the little blue dot on your cell phone tells you how to get to the nearest Chipotle. When you're building that satellite, it's not like just one person is building the satellite in their garage. It is hundreds of people, thousands of people really from all around the country that build little piece parts of the satellite, and then they all ship them to the final integration place, and they got to put it together. And satellites are really expensive. So once they ship all these little pieces from all over the country and they got to put them together, they got to work the first time. You can't do over. So being able to coordinate across the country and make sure that you have those interfaces right, that you have the scale right, all of these skills that you learned here in Future Cities, totally applicable if you want to go build satellites or rocket ships or any of those things that I've been talking about today. Oh, questions, perfect. Yeah, write some questions in here. What was the first, is this where the final judges should be? I think so. What was the first Future City competition like? It was in person. There was no COVID. It was when life was easier. It was at the Franklin Institute. If you guys haven't been to that museum, you totally need to go to that museum after COVID. It's awesome. There were not many teams. There were probably only like a dozen teams or something as they were getting this competition started. So it was a lot easier, less competition, less expectations. But man, you guys are incredible today. Any one of you teams would have gotten first place then. And it was really fun because after the competition, we got to go explore around the museum, totally check out the Franklin Institute. They've got this giant, like 1,000 times life-size beating heart that you could walk through. Let me repeat the top 5 real fast. I'm seeing these requests. I wrote down that the finalists were Queen of Angels, St. Cecilia, Downingtown, Aviat, Lyonsville, and St. Hilary School. I think that they're going in the order I just read, so Queen of Angels would be going first. Hopefully that answers that question. All right, I'm seeing other questions. They're popping up all over the screen in different forums. What was the theme that year? The theme that year was mechanical engineering. And I didn't understand at the time what a theme meant. So we didn't have like, in the early competition, they weren't as creative. There wasn't like build a city on the moon. It was just whatever society sponsored it. So I had to learn a lot about building things. And that was really fun. It contributed to my career choice because I really liked spaceships. Who doesn't, right? They're really cool. And I had a lot of experience from the Future City competition, like putting together the model, making the moving parts, and just understanding the mechanics of all that. So it really helped when I chose an engineering career. Another question I got was, have you heard of the satellite that launched in 2015 and cost $900 million? SMAP. I don't know for sure if I've heard of that one, but there's a lot of cool satellites out there. We're launching so many these days. Like the last SpaceX launch launched more than 100 small satellites on just one rocket, which is pretty incredible. So much of our commerce for the world is moving into space. So you guys are way ahead of the game. building cities on the moon, because that's like the next step, right? We can start moving some industry over to the moon. We can start moving prisons to the moon. That was one of the big things that a couple of the teams talked to me about, all sorts of very interesting stuff. All right. A couple other questions coming in. If you are not a finalist, do you exit the Zoom? No, I think if you're not a finalist, you're welcome to stay and enjoy watching this Zoom. The link is on the Future Cities website for any of the parents that want to be part of this. That is true. Great job. All right, got another question. Would you want to go to space? It is my dream to go to space. Soham, I agree. That would be really cool. I would love to go travel into space. And if you guys haven't seen the movie The Martian, probably put that on your list. Get your parents' approval first, because there's a little language in that movie, but it's really cool. It is a story about a guy who gets abandoned on Mars, and he has to use all of his engineering and science skills to survive while he's waiting to be rescued. So really exciting movie that is pretty accurate for a lot of the engineering. They have to take a couple of liberties, but it is a cool engineering movie about space. The other one I hope you guys have all seen, since you're really focused on the moon, is Apollo 13. If you haven't seen that, put it on the top of your list. It is a true story about a journey to the moon that went wrong back in like when our parents were kids. Your parents might not have even been born, now that I think of it, but it's from Apollo 13, when they went to the moon and they had an explosion. And it's a story of survival and engineering to get that crew back safely. All right, I see more folks popping up on the panelist window. Does that mean you guys are ready to present? Maybe. Oh, and Interstellar. Yes, I agree. That's a great choice. All good movies. Watched it recently. It was really good. Okay, any other questions, stuff like that? No other questions. We just want to get going. We all want to go see the teams presenting. They're going to be way better. Guys, it's been a pleasure talking to you about space and engineering. I could nerd out about that all day, but these young people are going to be so much more interesting. So Susan, over to you. Thank you so much for your patience, everybody. Bye.